Hello, my name is Tania and today I come to present a very important topic called biodiversity.
The first topic is what is biodiversity? And first, what is biodiversity? Biodiversity or biological diversity is the term that refers to the wide variety of living beings on Earth and what happens to the natural patterns that make it up the result of millions of years of the evolution according to the natural processes and also of the growing influence of human activities. The next topic is why is biodiversity important? And well, why is biodiversity important? Biodiversity is the foundation that sustains all life on land and underwater. It is related to all aspects of the human health. It provides clean water and air, and nutritious food, and sources of medicines, resistant to the natural diseases, and mitigation of climate change. Changing or removing one element in this intricate web affects the entire life system and can produce negative consequences. And remember, without nature, life on Earth will not be possible. Now we continue with the issue of levels of biodiversity. Biodiversity levels. There are three closely related levels of biodiversity: genetic biodiversity, species diversity, and the diversity of species. Genetic diversity includes the components of the genetic code of each organism and the variety of these between individuals within a population and between populations of the same species. Species diversity includes living things with common characteristics. However, it also encompasses other smaller groups, such as subspecies, and also other broader groups than group species, genera, or families. And finally, the diversity of species includes ecosystems as the central nucleus. These are groups of plants, fungi, animals, microorganisms, and the physical environment that surrounds them, interacting a functional unit. We have to ask ourselves, what are the benefits of having a rich diversity? And well, what are the benefits of having a rich biodiversity? It provides us with food, medicine, raw materials, resources, and energy to ensure the survival of human animals and plants. By the way, it's guaranteed service that we will not do without regulation of air quality and climate, water purification, control of erosion, and natural disaster and pollination, among others. And finally, so the richer the biodiversity, the more chances of survival all of us who lives on the planet life. The next topic is components of biodiversity. Intangible and tangible. Intangible, it is made of the variety of knowledge, innovation, and practices individual or collective related to the biological diversity. And tangible, it is made up of the variety of genes, species, and ecosystems that we can identify, manage, or use. Before starting with the causes and consequences, what is the loss of biodiversity? The loss of biodiversity refers to the decrease or disappearance of biological diversity, the latter understood as the variety of living beings that inhabit the planet. There are different levels of biological organization and their respective genetic variability, as well as the natural patterns present in the ecosystems. And now we review the main causes of biodiversity loss. The biodiversity has declined at an alarming rate in recent years, largely as a result of human activity. Next, we review the main causes. The causes of biodiversity loss are human activities, climate change, pollution, destruction of habitats, invasive exotic species, and overexploitation of the natural environment. Climate change. Climate change impacts biodiversity at various levels: species distribution, population dynamics, community structure, and ecosystem function. Pollution. When we talk about pollution, we think, for example, of the smoke that comes out the exhaust pipes of cars and races into the atmosphere. But biodiversity is not only affected by this type, it is also affected by noise and light pollution. Destruction of habitats. Soil pollution and change in use due to activities such as deforestation of forests negatively impact the ecosystem and the species that compose them. Invasive exotic species. Invasive exotic species are the second ending cause of biodiversity loss in the world, according to the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP). They act as predators, compete for food, hybridize with native species, introduce parasites and diseases, etc. And finally, overexploitation of the natural environment. Their overexploitation of natural resources, that is, their consumption at the speed greater than that of their natural regeneration, has an obvious impact on the flora and fauna of the planet. Consequences of the loss of biodiversity.
The loss of biodiversity brings numerous consequences which do not fall only on the environment but also on the human being, either at an economic or health level. During the presentation of the EPBS, David Cooper, Executive Undersecretary of the Convention on Biological Diversity, took the opportunity to warn about this in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis. As we degrade ecosystems, the risk of future pandemics increases. And in the following lines, we list other of its adverse effects.
Species extinction. The alteration and destruction of habitats means that thousands of species are in endangered extinction. Threat to human beings. The loss of biodiversity endangers the well-being of human beings by affecting the soil and water, which are essential to their nutrition. Proliferation of pests. Imbalances and inconsistent can drive pests that damage crops. Increases in CO2 emissions. The ability of forests and oceans to absorb CO2 decreases if their ecosystems are harmed.
And that is all. Thank you so much for watching.